Does the narcissist win? That is what we're going to talk about, because I keep getting that, and people believe that the narcissist always wins. They always look like they're winning. Or, do they get their karma? Do they reap what they sow? All that, right? Well, they never win. They never win, because even if they were to win, they're never going to win. Because they're going to hell, y'all. I don't understand how to explain this to you, but when you have experienced a narcissist like I have, or as many of them, and as deep and as evil as they get, you're going to realize at some point in time that because there is no history of these people getting any better, that you can just about bet your bottom dollar that they're never going to go to heaven. So let's say they win, okay? They win. They win in this world. And listen, if you've met with a devil and a demon, you got to believe in the biblical narrative. If you met with a narcissist and you met with a pretty good one, you're going to know that it was the damn devil in human form. So if you believe in the demonic, you're going to have to believe that there's a heaven. And so I guess my point is what if they do win on this earth? So let's say they win, they get to live their 80 years, 75 years, and all they're doing is sucking off people. So yeah, they suck off people, they laugh, walk away, go to another person, suck off them, laugh, walk away, get a trip out of this person. They use everybody for sex. They go back to them 7 times for cycles, like it says in the history of how many times we generally take them back before we quit with them. Some of y'all, some people end up staying with them forever. Sometimes if it's a borderline, you could stay married to them forever, but it's going to be a rough-ass marriage. You're never going to get anything out of it except emptiness, and you're going to have to enable them. So, yeah, so let's say, so then they make it through life. What if they do win? Well, then they go to fiery pit of hell, or face being blotted out by God the Father. So the Almighty Creator creates all of this stuff. And when we come to Him, it's kind of like you want to promote something in yourself. You know what I mean? You want to be like, yo, like, I appreciate you and I did this. I mean, you made me, right? With the narcissist, they have nothing to say, man. I used every resource that you had on this earth for evil. I mean, like, what is that, And then they're going to be sent to hell, man. I mean, they were in hell already being here. Yeah, it does look like, and they may even enjoy what they do, although I don't think so. But they're walking around with an inferiority complex. They are inferior to you, okay? As much as we don't like to judge a hierarchy of people being better than others, these individuals are inferior to you. And they're telling you and showing you by coming to you and trying to put you down. When somebody comes and their main event is to put you down, it's because you are above them. You are stronger than them. And the only thing that was different here is when they come to you, they don't tell you that they're your enemy. So then all along, you think they're more powerful, that they enjoy what they do, that they're all seeing, all knowing, and they get away with everything. It's not true. I mean, if you had the heart, if you were able to become disheartened enough to where things didn't bother you, and then try it yourself, I mean, it's terrible, man. You would have to go to somebody that's a good individual and fake it till you make it with them. And then once you get them to trust you, destroy them so you can get happiness and steal everything out from under them while you're with them, and then walk away laughing. That to me is not winning at all, y'all. That's a coward. That's a coward, man. That's like starting a war with somebody and they don't even know the war is going on. It's like if you'd come to me man to man, I mean, man, whatever. If you come to an individual and be like, yo, it's war, y'all, then at least like it's equal. But you're cheating. You're cheating from the jump when you come to go try to start a relationship with somebody and you're out to destroy them. You're already a cheater, whether you're cheating on them or not. You're basically cheating because you're cheating if this is a game to you, you're cheating in the game. At least come to them. Just come to a person and tell them, hey, this is war. So at least I know what I'm dealing with. That's why people always say they have more respect for an overt narcissist than a covert narcissist, because at least an overt narcissist, they're an asshole up front. They're a dick, they're an asshole, and what they're about, okay? That's why I'm always saying in these podcasts that, we don't even have to worry too much about the overt narcissist because we don't go for those. It's like, who goes for another overt narcissist is going to be somebody who is either, they're going to be usually another narcissist, in my opinion. Or somebody that's very, desperate on the come up. And maybe they're broke, but the narcissist has money and the desperate person has good looks and they're maybe younger. And they kind of fall into that trap. But when it comes to the narcissist, typically the empath, the people like us, we don't end up with the pompous dick that has always been that way and is like that out in front, because we know we don't like those people to begin with. We don't associate with those people to begin with. We get the covert, antisocial type, wolf in sheep's clothing narcissist, because they got to fake it to get with us. And if they had it all together, and if they were winning all the time, and we were a piece of shit, then why'd they even bother coming to us? Tell me that. Why do you even bother wasting your time with us? So you got to come to us, and then you want to spend some time with us, try to get us hooked, and try to steal everything out from under us, including our soul energy, our traits, and our friends, things we've acquired, our love, our joy, our peace, our energy, our fuel. You're crazy, y'all. Those fools have to run around to satisfy the demons in them, and they won't be able to survive if they're not running around trying to get energy for the damned demons that live inside them, because they cannot create energy when you have something damned living in you. A dead, damned, already damned by God demon, then that individual cannot produce its own energy. That's why you'll find that a narcissist does not have love, because God is the definition of love. Okay, so the first sign of somebody that's demonically possessed is going to be they have no love, because what God is defined as is love, y'all. So that's number one. Then they come to torment and turmoil and create turmoil, confusion. Satan's the author of confusion. He's the destroyer. He's the angel of death. He comes to torment. Demons come to torment. That's the number one sign of a demon, is to torment. They come to you to do all of these things. They want you to become like them, because that's how they got hijacked. The way they got hijacked and the way that they felt trapped to this, maybe as a young child, in adolescence or whatever, is how they come to you and they try to hijack you, because that parasite has got to expand. And as they became an arm of the parasite, they want you to become an arm of the narcissist. That's hooked to them, because they desire more and more fuel. They're insatiable. Demons are insatiable. They're never happy. It doesn't matter at some point how much you give. They're going to need not just your giving, but somebody else's giving too. It's going to get to a point to where it's going to be outside of what you can soulfully accommodate for them. It's just not going to be available to you. That's how this world system is. That's That's how these rules are in this world system. We didn't make them, God made them. God made them for the good and for the evil. And, the evil do have separate set of rules. They can do different things that, holy angels can't do and godly people shouldn't do if they're going to walk down the path of holiness or godliness. Okay, but the narcissists, the demons, and the fallen angels do not give a damn. They will push that note as far as God will allow them to operate in their evil ways. They will do it. And they have to seem to tell the truth, because that's what the whole hierarchy of this world system has to do. It's the same way whether you look at the narcissist, the Illuminati, or all these conspiracy theories. They're not theories, they're conspiracy facts, because they're scientifically proven that whatever they claimed happened could not happen scientifically. But anyway, when it comes to these things, they always tell you the truth. But if you don't have truth in you, you will not hear it. If you're not keen to it, you will not accept it. But they do. The narcissist tells you the truth, and I always say when they come to get you back, to hoover you back, to tell you something, to get something back to you, it usually comes to you from around the corner. And the same thing goes for when they tell the truth. They tell you from around the way, around the corner, or through a conversation that is subtle. It's subtle. They'll tell you the truth subtly, but you got to be keen to it, and you got to be able to put the pieces together to get the true answer. And for all y'all that seek closure, man, you got to just know that this is what you're dealing with. You're not going to get closure like you get from another individual from humanity. Well, we tried to work it out. It didn't work out. We fought a lot. We just didn't, match up together. Fine. We went our separate ways. I'm sorry. You're sorry. We're both sorry. Now we're going to move on with our life. Maybe we could be acquaintance friends, maybe not. That's fine too. But when it comes to the narcissist, you can do none of that. You can't be friends with them. You don't want to know them. They will corrupt you more and more. They will always push the boundaries. And that's why even if you are supposedly friends with them after, they're going to push the boundaries. They're going to either try to destroy you again, or they're going to try to hoover you back when you're in another relationship. And you can't have that toxicity. You cannot be around them. That's why you are forced to go no contact. And anybody that is going contact with them outside of some sort of business, like children or finances, that you're hooked to them for a certain period of time, for say 18 years because you have a child with them or something, and you have to gray rock with them, that's one thing. That's what you have to do. But it doesn't, if you don't have anything connected to them and you are talking to them at all, whether you're having sex with them or not, you're part of their harem and they have control over you. They are still affecting your life, whether you like it or not, or whether you believe it or not. They still have influence over your life, and they know this. They still have a way in, and they know this, and they still are have a way to affect your blessings, whether you know it or not. Because as long as you have some sort of line of communication open to them outside of gray rocking for your children or some sort of business or something that you're hooked to them with because you absolutely have to and there's no way out of it, but you got to go straight business when it comes to those situations. You gray rock and straight business, and that's it. If it ain't about the business, if it ain't about the children, then I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear anything else about whatever you're doing, your relationships, whatever. And that's how you got to be. If you think that they're winning, they're never winning, y'all. The only reason why they look like that and they silent treatment you that way is because that's all that they know. They've been doing this since childhood. And they would do that because what happens is they, as a child, they were never taught anything. A lot of times what happens is they may even be very educated, but when it comes to on a common sense level, when it comes to in the home, when it comes to anything emotional or kind of dissecting things in real life, as far as having some sort of like constructive criticism to understand situations, that stuff does not go on in a narcissistic family unit. You do what you're told, and you're told what to do, what to eat, and where to go. And for a lot of these people, they never think for themselves. And they only outside of education. So they could learn 5 languages, but they'll have no common sense. They can learn 5 languages, but they'll have no emotional support. They can learn 5 languages, but they'll have no love. They can learn 5 languages, but when they get out there and they have to have conversations with people that live in humanity, that have been through all kinds of different situations, that they had to think for themselves to get out of these situations and learn from them, and to gain common sense and to gain ground and to know how to decipher through things in life to get where they got, because that's the only way you can. And it was, it's just the way it is. Now, the narcissist did not grow up that way, and they don't have common sense. They can't really have deep conversations a lot of times because they didn't operate this way. They did what they were told. They usually were never, if they were a golden child, they were never told no. And even if it was a trauma child, they probably just never had parents around. A lot of times that's the case. There was no parents around, so there was no kind of structural hierarchy of control that gave them an idea of what was right and what was wrong, what was good and what was bad, or any kind of way to live and with being reprimanded. So it's kind of almost like a golden child, because it's like a wayward child. So you have a golden child and a wayward child, for instance. They both didn't have any kind of structure in. So I think that's where you get like the somatic narcissist and the histrionic narcissist, and then you get the cerebral narcissist. The cerebral narcissist could have came out of like having, no parent authority around, and they were allowed to do whatever they wanted to do, and nobody reprimanded them. Okay, and so they learned a lot, from doing things. Those individuals will not be covert narcissists. For the most part, the cerebral narcissist will be probably going to be overt narcissists, more or less. The somatic and the histrionics are going to be more of the covert type narcissists. And that's because they grew up probably as golden children. They never had to make decisions. They were handed everything on a silver platter. They were never told no. And whenever they wanted something, their parents ran out and got it for them. So they never built any common sense. They never understood love because everything was transactional. They were awarded for getting good grades, but they were never loved. And so when they get out and about, even as younger children, they don't learn. They start to walk in this construct early with children at school. And it's always, when they meet you, they're already thinking, what do you have that they can get? Whether it's an item, whether it's sex, love, or energy, the energy of love, a roof over their head, somebody to keep them busy when they need to be distracted, and somebody that could spend money on them, somebody that can make them look good, somebody that can propel them out, somebody that can teach them something that they could use in the future to make them a better individual, but that's it. And usually they will trade sex for it. So, because they have no brain. So it's sex. And, this construct is the way of allowing demons to come in to their life, whether they know it or not, to take over. And that's why, to some degree, sometimes you'll see in a weird way that they look like they are winning, because that's the devil in them that gives them that pompous look and those stern faces and those walks and things that they have sometimes, so that they can mimic that. But the demon already failed and has been damned. So the demon is just parasitic and taking down the life of the narcissist. And when they got, tired of just living through the narcissist, now they got to extend out and they got to get parasitic onto other targets so they can try to take them down too, or to just torment them. And that's basically it. But they have no common sense, they have no love, and they have no creativity. So what is that? That's artificial intelligence. That's why when you have sex with a narcissist, it seems like artificial intelligence. They're robotic. Everything about them is robotic. And the way that Satan comes into your life in this world system is through AI, artificial intelligence. Even in the Bible, it says that Satan is the prince and the power of the air of this world system. The air is the TV screen, y'all. It is the movie theater, y'all. It is the music, the media. It is social media. It's all of that. You are influenced through the media. And for all of you that don't think that technology existed before the 1800s, it did. Whatever has been will be again. There's nothing new under the sun. They had this stuff in the past. You've just been lied to. We've been reset several times. And we're not in the era that Christianity thinks we are. We're post-millennial kingdom, y'all. And it all got burnt up. The old technology got burnt up in the fervent heat. Anyway, that's all.